historic place, a historic time to be here in this area. What is known as Hostage Square is a place of celebration. Behind me, you're seeing people that are celebrating Simchat Torah, the giving of the law, the reading of the law is switched from the end of the Torah to the beginning of the Torah. And you see the singing and celebration. Now they're moving on over to where you see the days, which is 737 days. And it was actually on Simchat Torah that the hostages were first taken 2 years ago. The reason that it's a different date for Westerners is because our calendar is based on the Gregorian calendar. Israel uses, at least for religious observance, the lunar calendar and the biblical calendar. The sense that I've gotten since I've been here is that the people are just really happy. This has been a place for 2 years. We've been here many, many times where families have come, people that are families of the hostages. They've all had their own areas to sit. And today, all of the living hostages are now free. So what I want to do is give all of you an opportunity to put your comments in the comment section or questions. If you have a comment or question, they're going to send them to me and I will read them on the air here. And we're just going to give you a sense of what's going on here today. I'm also going to go through a timeline of how this day unfolded. So let me start with this morning. This morning, this plaza was packed. Even a lot more people were here this morning for the release than even right now. Although it is filling up, it's 8:01 p.m. in Tel Aviv. And so at 8, I'm going to go through the timeline today. At, 6:10 in the morning, the families of the hostages were told to go to the Reim crossing area. There's a base there, and that was where 2 rounds of releases were going to happen, and that's where they were going to first see their family members. At 6:57, the first phase was, the release was initially coordinated between Hamas and the Red Cross. Fortunately, I haven't seen any of the terrible, despicable show that they were putting on in previous releases. Israel and the U.S. and Trump and everyone demanded that not happen. At 7:15, an official from the Red Cross said that convoys in Gaza were moving toward the rendezvous point with the Israeli hostages. So, first thing this morning, these hostages were on the move, and certainly I would think people like Omri Moran and Avinatan and others probably thought they weren't going to make it out of this alive. The hostages that I saw, they didn't look too bad health-wise. I think they probably were well fed for the last couple weeks, knowing that this release would be inevitable. There's only one way out for Hamas, and that is to take this deal. They had so much pressure on them militarily. At 7:23, the first group of hostages went out from the northern part of the Gaza Strip, and the first 7 hostages were then at 8:11 in the hands of the Red Cross. And at 8:13, the names of the 7 hostages were released that the Red Cross had, and this is amazing. It was the 7 were Gal and Ziv Berman, Matan Enkrist, Alan Ohel, Omri Moran, Itan Moore, and Guy Gilboa-Dalal. And these were all handed over to the Red Cross. The reason I was happy about that is because the one that God has put on our heart, Omri Moran, was part of the first release, which was absolutely wonderful. The reason that we've been praying for Omri by name for these 2 years in our church and on InGrace is because right after the attacks in October of 2023, we had a big March for Israel in Washington, D.C., where we had hundreds of thousands of people showing support for Israel and the hostages. And we were invited to a private reception in the Capitol building afterwards, and we went in and we started to interview a man who said his brother-in-law was taken hostage. the man I was interviewing was Moshe Lavi, which is the brother-in-law of Omri Moran. And so that was interesting, but not enough to like say, we're going to pray for this one out of, several hundred. It was because right after that, we flew to Israel to bring you the story 2 years ago of what was happening here. And Israel was shattered, it was broken, it was raw, it was hard to see. I come to Hostage Square for my first time, and I sit down in a booth that I'll show it to you in a little bit. And I'm sitting there talking, and it turns out that the woman I was sitting and talking with was Lashai Moran Lavi. It's Moshe's wife, Moshe's sister, and Omri's wife. So I said, well, the only two hostage family members I've ever met, one in the capital of the United States and one in Hostage Square, both connected to Omri, so we're going to start praying for Omri. So it was neat to see that he was part of the first wave coming out. And Hamas confirms at 8:23, 7 hostages freed, vows to keep the ceasefire agreement. At 8:24, U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee praises the historic moment of hostage return, and what an amazing man to have here in Israel representing the United States. An evangelical, a Baptist pastor, formerly a pastor, governor, a man that I believe God is using, a presidential candidate, and now the ambassador of the United States to Israel. What an amazing person to have here at this time. Just absolutely love him, met him several times. We've had him on InGrace. At 8:37, tens of thousands of Israelis pray, celebrate at demonstrations across the country, and of course this was part of those celebrations. 8:47, 7 hostages were transported to Israeli troops in the Gaza Strip, and that was the first wave of them coming out. And then subsequent to that, we had another wave. Let me get to that. Oh, in the mix of all this, President Trump is flying to Israel, and he's landing at Ben Gurion with Air Force One and put on quite a show, as he often does. And here he is received. They are applauding him. He spoke at the Knesset, and they applauded him. They were so thankful. I saw a big building with a sign that said "Thank you" and a big American flag. So Israel is definitely crediting the United States and our president for this historic moment. And let me also say one thing, that although it's historic, we still know that there are dead hostage bodies that haven't come back. So we still need to pressure, we still need to pray. I guess some of them it's hard to find, maybe they're under rubble. But that's something that is still on the hearts of Israelis here. We need to pray for the families of those that have lost these hostages that were killed. Maybe some of them were even killed before taken hostage, which is absolutely despicable. Another issue that is kind of bittersweet is that Israel had to release another couple thousand Palestinian prisoners, of which 250 were tried terrorists, many of them having committed murder. So you're releasing them not to Gaza, although many were released to Gaza, but actually a lot of them were released to Judea and Samaria, and even East Jerusalem got these prisoners released to. That bothers me, but again, that's what Israel had to do, and that's what they did. President Trump at 9:44 lands at Ben Gurion Airport. My flight coming in this afternoon was delayed because he was leaving, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. And then at 9:45, the returnees were on their ways to meet their family. At 10:03, the 7 people that were recovered were at the reception point, and they were making sure that they were healthy. They were meeting up with their families. And the first images were at 10:36. And I'm sure you've seen the different images of the hostage family, the hostages coming back to meet their families, and it's amazing to see that. So anyways, and some of these hostages, by the way, haven't been seen the entire time. Avinatan Or, there's been no video from Hamas, no nothing. And so it was amazing to finally see him for the first time. And Avinatan, by the way, if you don't remember, is Noah Argamani's boyfriend. And we interviewed Ditsa Or, Avinatan's mom. I also interviewed one of the brothers, forgot his first name, but interviewed him in Washington as well. We've done a lot of interviewing all these hostage family members, making sure we keep the story alive in the United States. Let's see, then Trump gets to the Knesset at 11:16. And, at 11:29, IDF confirms 13 hostages were transferred to the Red Cross, and now they're on their way to the Israeli troops. And that was amazing. And then at 11:46, all living hostages were in the hands of Israeli troops. So that was the day here, and what a marvelous day. Now what I want to do is I want to walk you around, show you what's going on here, kind of show you the jubilation of the people. We'll walk down this way. Again, this square has been used for 2 years. This is a museum complex. There's, it's always been an open square, but people didn't know where to come. People didn't know what to do after the attacks, and so this is just a big open area. You can see that building with the blue lights. That is the defensive building, and so I think they also wanted to assemble somewhere where the government would know they're here and the government would feel the pressure. And you've seen these streets full of people. This morning, all of this area was full of people. And I believe it was Saturday night when Witkoff and Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, they spoke from over here, and this was just packed, hundreds of thousands, I think, of people there. So tonight it's filling up. Again, they're celebrating Simchat Torah, the day in which 2 years ago the hostages were actually taken. That's part of the surprise because it was on Shabbat, it was on a Saturday, and Simchat Torah, and they released of like 90% of the soldiers to go home on that weekend and on that holiday. And so that's why Israel had such a hard time when they were attacked, because they had depleted, they didn't have all the troops that they needed. I brought my grandkids here about a year and a half, no, it was about not even a year ago, and they got to see all of these pictures and all of this. And sadly, there are plenty of these hostages that did not make it. Another thing that you're going to notice here, a lot of media. I mean, everybody's here. I probably counted 100 different news crews that are here from all of the American news sources, Fox, CNN, Newsmax, everybody's here. You have a lot of international media that's here from all over the world. This is a big story, and the question is why? Why is everyone always so interested in what happens in Israel? So I'm going to let Paul come up here and bring the camera up and just get a shot of what all is going on here, the celebration, the singing, the dancing. Everyone is so happy for the release of the hostages, especially on this auspicious day. We'll try to kind of keep going into the crowd. We might get a little packed in. All right, so as we walk, I'm going to also answer or give some of the comments that you guys are giving. Okay, so Diane is asking, what are the next steps in regard to Hamas? That's a good question. So to me, like, the only thing Hamas had, any leverage that they had, was the hostages. They weren't ever going to win militarily, so once they released the hostages, they have no leverage anymore. So to me, that was the big thing. All the living hostages are out. What's going to happen next? They're supposed to disarm. They're supposed to, this international group that Trump is actually negotiating right now in Sharm el-Sheikh, about, I'd say it's about 500 miles south of here, maybe not that far, but in a resort in Egypt. He is negotiating all of that. Like, all of the moderate Arab nations are coming together to form some sort of a force that's going to be in Gaza. Right now, I understand that they've given the Gazans and maybe even Hamas a temporary authority to be a police force, but obviously they're not going to do that well. So Hamas is, the leadership of Hamas is giving the opportunity of leaving the country, which is what they need to do. Though those that give up, we're also giving amnesty, those that are lower level fighters in Gaza. Marion says she's watching reports of Hamas policing territory the IDF has vacated. Do you think they will disarm? I think they don't have a choice. Right now, there's no more leverage. The living hostages are out, Marion. That's a good question, by the way. But what's Hamas going to do now? Israel has the upper hand by far, and so they will disarm. I have no doubt about it. But they're brutal. They're brutal people, so certainly they're going to be harming innocent people while they're there. Okay, James is asking, is Omri's family still there in Hostage Square? Let me take you over, show you this tent over here. They, obviously, Lashai is not here. She's with her husband. The close family, Omri's dad. So here's, I'm going to show you a picture of Omri real quick here. So Omri was released today, and this is their tent that they've been occupying and telling the story. We've come here many times and talked to people many times. And we'll go in and interview some people inside there. So there are some extended maybe family, and they might be speaking publicly, but the close family members are with their returned hostages. So let's go into the Nahal Oz tent. Shalom. We're back. How's Olive doing?
Nobody's here for you.
You are.
I'm so happy to...
Okay, come on in, Paul. And remind me your name.
Nama.
Nama. And you have a dog?
Yeah.
And the dog's name is?
Olive.
Olive. That's nice. And you said let's still pray for the dead bodies to come back from Gaza, right?
I hope.
Yes.
I so sad that there was that, but I want all the hostages, the life and the death.
Yes.
Will come back to Israel. The
Yes.
life in Israel.
The live ones are back, and
Yeah.
you're excited about that?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. Thank you,
Yes.
USA.
Yes, thank you. And Omri is one of the hostages that came back today. Unfortunately, others died in captivity. So, what are your feelings today?
So excited still. I can't understand what's, it's difficult to realize that the situation is changed now, but we are still waiting for those who are supposed to be back, all the dead people that are still there.
And you lived in Nahal Oz some years ago.
Many years ago, yeah.
And but have you been coming here volunteering
For
to
2
make sure you
years,
keep
yeah.
the story? And I'm sure I've
Alive.
talked to you before,
Yeah.
because we keep coming to this tent because God has asked us to pray for Omri and Lashai and the
We
family.
were sitting here for 2 years
Wow.
in shifts
Wow.
to keep the subject on the table, and that they won't be forgotten, and how important it is for us and to all the Israelis that they would come back.
So what now with all of this, with the hostage square and the tent and the Nahal Oz tent? Like, what's next for? Does anyone know what you guys are going to do now?
I don't know. I think it would be the time to see and to check and to search and what happened exactly on that day. Now that it would be over, hopefully.
Right.
What happened and that it won't happen again.
Make sure it never happens again, but also to remember. I think there will probably be some sort of permanent memorial here, right?
I suppose so.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Well, thank you for keeping the story alive and giving a face to the kibbutz.
Thank you.
And your name is?
Eti.
Eti. God bless you, Eti.
Thank you.
And everyone in the United States, we've been praying hard for you and for
we
everyone.
met so many from the States during the 2 years that we were sitting here. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. God
Thank
bless
you.
Eddie.
Thanks.
Do you have anything to add? Are you happy? Joyful? Yes. Yes. God bless you. God bless you. Good to see you. Yeah, it's really amazing. Do you have anything to say?
About what?
About today, the joy of what's happening today.
Wow, it's the most happiest day I ever, and I am very old. I'm 68, and I don't think I felt happy and exciting like this.
Wow. It's
Wow.
been a long time, and Israel has kept the story, but it seems like the world has gone against
Yeah.
Israel.
Yeah.
But
and-
the whole time, it's Hamas's fault. They have your hostages, but now they're home. Now they're back.
yeah.
And
yeah.
that's so amazing.
So now we are relief. It's like medicine.
Yes.
It's like we have our medicine.
Wow.
We can go on with our life.
Yeah.
We kept on with everything, but not
Wow.
not really not exactly a real life.
Right, right. Well, and what is your name?
Gila,
Gila. Good to meet you, Gila.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. We'll
Thank
keep
you.
praying for Israel.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you heard from a couple residents here that are standing here at the Nahal Az kibbutz booth. And so what they did, you'll see like different booths. They had one for Nova. They had one for these different kibbutzim tucked away in these corners of Hostage Square, or what is now been called Hostage Square. And I'm also told that some people are saying that it should be changed to a Freed Square, and that's kind of the trend. But after you've been calling it something for 2 years, it's hard to switch back. Let's keep going this way and show you all the people and all the flags that are here. If you'll remember, on the grandkids, the children through the eyes, Israel through the eyes of a child, this tunnel here is a kind of a replica of the Hamas tunnels, and many of the hostages were kept in tunnels like that. And you probably remember Charlie, Chloe, and Willow going through that tunnel and them having a sense of what it would be like for those hostages. And it was really sobering for my grandkids to come here, and people would wonder, why would I bring my grandkids here? Because I want them to know truth. I want them to know that this little country is the focal point of the world. You see media all around us, cameras all around us. This little teeny sliver of a country should not even exist, but it does. And the reason it does is because God said it will forever. And God dispersed them, God brought them back. We are Bible-believing Christians. I'm a Zionist, and so I believe that this is the land of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and their descendants. Against all odds, they're here. So bringing my grandkids here to see reality and to push back against the lies that the world media has been saying, things like Israel's committing genocide and all that nonsense, it's actually the opposite. Israel is one of the most moral, careful armies in the world, and unfortunately, civilians do get hurt, but a lot fewer in this conflict than even in the United States conflicts that we've had. So that's the entrance of the tunnel. We won't take you through today just because the signal will get weak. We'll continue walking over here. Okay, we have some more.
I just want to say thank you
Okay.
for everything you're doing
Yes.
from your community to ours.
Can we talk to you for a second?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, who are you?
Hi, my name is Ron Hake. I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Okay, very good. Are you extremely encouraged today by what's happened?
I am, for everybody. My wife and I had tickets to come to Israel on October 7, 2023. Woke up in the morning, saw what happened.
Wow.
Our tickets were canceled. So after a couple of years, they said, we got to go back. And turned out we ended up here. So sort of like a closure for us in many ways.
Wow.
And a new beginning, hopefully, for everybody.
Well, it seems like that. I mean, this was a place that, the broken heart was evidenced for 2 years in this square. But now it's totally different when you have your living hostages out of Gaza.
Yes.
And it just changes everything. The psyche of the people, I think, is very much changed now.
It has. I think we're still all thinking about those that are still behind the bodies, the people who are actually still serving in Gaza, protecting us, and everyone around the world, and just hoping, with God's help that, and with President Trump's help and with Bibi Netanyahu's help, that we move forward in this from this terrible situation for everyone's sake.
And a lot of people wondered why it took so long. Why did it take 2 years when Israel has such a good force? But it's the hostages. Israel was being careful to not hurt civilians against what people are saying about Israel.
I would concur. I would also say that, a lot of people blame Netanyahu, but as you could see, until the other side was willing to release the hostages, there was no deal. It was only when there was enough pressure put on them to release the hostages.
Right.
And that was, again, thankful to Trump and the IDF forces that allowed that to happen, that a deal could be struck. Many people said, a deal could have been struck earlier, only if they give the hostages back earlier.
Well, think about, too, like Israel has totally decimated Hezbollah. Syria has been overthrown. Iran. I mean, think about all that's happened in 2 years. That's all been in Israel's favor. So I think Hamas finally realized, as Israel's getting closer and closer to Gaza City, that this is it. This is over. And I think whatever Trump did with the Qatars and others, that sealed the deal.
Yeah, and certainly, the help of Trump to push Turkey to the table, pull the others.
Right.
We're hearing that the Prime Minister or President of Indonesia may come.
Yes, I heard tomorrow he might come.
Hopefully, and
that's
again,
historic.
That moves Abraham Accords.
Yeah, they don't have relations with you.
Syria may return the body of Eli Cohen. So
That'd
all
be
these
amazing.
things.
Yeah.
Again, are God's work. So
yes. Okay. Well, good. Good
Thank
talking
you very
with
much
you.
for your support.
Yes.
And, Am Yisrael-Chai, everybody.
Am Yisrael-Chai, yes.
Thank
Amen. All right. You want to talk?
No, it's
Okay.
a holiday. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a holiday.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
religious. So
Okay, good.
appreciate you
Well, God
coming.
bless you.
God bless you. Come
And
to
I
the
hope
States?
your Simchat Torah is beautiful.
Yes, hopefully this year more than 2 years ago.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Very,
It definitely will be.
It's a lot of mixed emotions because I have a couple of friends that were murdered
Wow.
2 years ago.
Wow.
And this today, a lot of all the live hostages came out.
Yeah.
Alive, which is very exciting. So it's a lot of mixed emotions, but
Yeah.
we're looking forward for great times and peace.
Yep.
And Bezat Hashem, where they should be only great things to come.
Yeah.
I heard President Trump's speech today. Very exciting, and also President Bibi, Prime Minister Bibi. Very looking forward for great things.
Yes.
Where
Okay.
are you from?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah. Where do you live?
I live here now. I
Uh-huh.
live here all my life.
I mean,
I've
what
lived
city?
Here, Tel Aviv.
Oh, Tel Aviv.
I'm
Okay.
local.
Okay.
I lived in the United States for a while, but
Good.
found from there. But
Good.
now I live here.
All right.
Proud to be Israeli. Proud to
Amen.
be Jewish.
Amen. All the
Very
best.
nice.
God bless you.
God bless you.
So that's kind of neat. Spontaneous people coming up and talking to us. Let's go look at all these Israeli flags in the background. I'll answer a couple more of your questions. Okay, one X-Men, I don't know who that is, but are there assurances or safeguards to prevent Hamas from regaining power? I mean, I don't think they have a choice to leave power. The way that they've released the hostages. Again, that's the only leverage that they had. So it's done. They're done. It depends on, do they want to do it peacefully, where that they can spare their own lives and maybe go abroad and go into some, not the United States or any of Western countries, but maybe Egypt or whoever, Saudi Arabia, whoever. So that's the only safeguard they had to remaining power were the hostages. The hostages are in Israel, safe. It's a game changer. Pastor Art said, watching from Arlington Heights, Charlie Kirk's hometown. God bless Charlie Kirk. He was pro-Israel. Not to say he never criticized Israel for anything, but we all would have criticism for Israel, but we don't. We ultimately support the entity, the country, the people, the government. This is a miraculous thing that is happening in our generation. Bambi says, what protocols are in place to make sure Hamas is following the rules? I mean, there isn't, other than the IDF withdrew, but they're still close. So I think the IDF just comes right back in. Again, no hostages. They have no leverage. I think it's over. I really do. Once the hostages came out, and I was really skeptical that they would actually follow through. But I think when Turkey, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, whoever, all of the people, Indonesia, have come against or at least pressured Hamas to say it's over, then I really think it's over. Karen says, Willow wants to know if you think you'll get to see Omri. Willow's my granddaughter, Karen's my wife. So I hope so. It's one of those things, we're only here for a few days. I'm not going to put any pressure, because think about what he's gone through. He just wants to be with his wife and his kids, and his family. So I doubt it. I'm sure we'll get to meet him. I'm positive we'll get to meet him down the road. It just might not be on this trip. But hey, we get to be witnesses here of what's happening in Israel. Another thing that's here, which is really cool, there's a piano. And this piano's been here throughout. One of the hostages was a pianist, so they put a piano out here, and people could just come out and play the piano. And they're actually doing that right up here. There's a crowd around that. There's singing that's going on. So that's another beautiful. A lot of this is just spontaneous. There's really no planning or organization. Christy says, thank you for the work you do in Israel. God bless you. Well, thank you, Christy, and thank all of you for your great questions. Any of you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. And my producers back in Chicago are feeding them to me via text. I'm trying to think of what else has happened today. I mean, so many things have happened. It's been a whirlwind, but the bottom line is the living hostages are back. Now, I do understand that only 4 dead hostages have come home. They need to get all of them back. So that's another thing that they're working toward. The families, the grieving families, want to have that proper funeral, and it's important in the Jewish faith to have the body and to have it a proper Jewish burial. So we need to keep praying for that. I think I'll keep this pin on until the hostage bodies come back, but this is a huge day for people that have been praying for and hoping that the hostages get home, because now they're home. And the one that we've been praying for, Omri Moran, is home as well. So God has shown his mercy upon Israel and upon these families. And to be in the middle of it, I think is amazing. We're going to be filming here for the next few days, doing interviews, talking to people, and we're going to be airing that on like Friday and Saturday on YouTube. Friday, Saturday, it will be on TBN. So those of you who watch us on TBN, watch for that. And then we'll also probably try to do a weekend radio program for those of you that listen to us on InGrace Radio. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let you guys go. We'll walk toward the singing over here, and then we'll cut the feed in a couple minutes. And you hear the lyrics, Am Israel Chai. The people of Israel live. And that's prophetic. God said that as long as the sun is in the sky, as long as the moon is in the sky and the stars are in the sky, the people of Israel will live and always exist. So we're going to sign off from here in Tel Aviv, Hostage Square, Freed Square, and we will see all of you again. We might do another live. We might give you an opportunity to ask more questions, but we're going to sign off for now. God bless you and shalom.